Yeah, we continue reading from Caitanya Caritamrita Adi-Lila, chapter 5. We are on text 41. We have been reading the purport of text 41. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So I'll just quickly read the text again, the translation. Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna and Anirudh constitute the second quadruple. They are purely transcendental. So we continue reading from the purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Krishna is one without a second, but he manifests himself in different bodies, as stated by Narad in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So he's one without a second, but he still has so many expansions. Chitram by Bhatte tad ekena vapusha yukapat prithak grahesho dvi ashta sahasram striya eka udavahat. It is wonderful indeed that one Krishna has simultaneously become different Krishnas in 16,000 palaces to accept 16,000 queens as his wife. Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 69, Text 2. So when Narad Muni, he went to Dwarka to visit Krishna, and then he just wanted to see how's Krishna doing. So he went in one of the palace. Krishna was there. He was taking his meal. And then another palace he went. And Krishna was there with his queen and children, playing with his children. And when he went to another palace, and Krishna was there, doing in some other, engaged in some joking words, relaxing. So like that, Krishna was present at the same time in all the 16,000 palaces. It was not that one Krishna and he would see each of his wife only once in 16,000 days or years or something. No, he was there simultaneously. He expanded himself. Even when he married the 16,000 wives, at the same time the marriage ceremony happened and there were 16,000 yagyas happening at one time, and Krishna was taking the fire, the wedding feras at the same time. So he's one without a second, yet he can expand. How can that happen? Why is not? It's not possible. But why is not possible? Why? It's not possible for the material mind or the material body to do it, but on the absolute platform, why isn't it possible? So this is Krishna's inconceivable potency. And he showed it to us 5,000 years ago. He showed it. It is, okay, the Padma Purana also explains, Sadevo Bahuda Bhutva Nirgunaha Purushottamaha Eki Bhuya Puna Shete Nirdosho Harir Adikrit. The same personality of Godhead, Purushottam, the original person, who's always devoid of material qualities and contamination, can exhibit himself in various forms and at the same time lie down in one form. So even the Padma Purana is saying there is one original supreme personality of God, Purushottam, original person. He's the origin. Govindam Adi Purusham. So there is one original person. He's the Supreme Lord. He's Purushottam, the best among all the persons. Purushottam, best amongst all the persons. And he never has any material qualities. His qualities are all spiritual, transcendental. And then he can have so many forms and at the same time just have one form. That's what is being said. Like Krishna here, even Narad Muni is saying that there is only one Krishna, yet he has expanded himself. There are so many Krishnas I can see, but yet Krishna is one. Yeah. So in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said, Yanti Twan Mayas Tvam Vai Bahu Murti Eka Murtikam. Oh my Lord, although you manifest yourself in varieties of forms, you are one without a second. It's not that the other Krishnas with the other wives, they are not Krishna. No, they're Krishna himself. They are Krishna himself. Therefore, pure devotees concentrate upon you and worship only you. Bhagavatam 10:47, 10.40.7. So when the devotee hears that, then he says, oh, wow, so Krishna is so amazing. Of course, Krishna can do that. Krishna, why can't he do that? If he has put in a tiny seed of a banyan tree, there are millions and millions of seeds, millions and millions of trees inside one tiny seed of a banyan tree. Why can't Krishna expand himself and also at the same time remain in one form? Why not? It is his inconceivable potency. Like we see a banyan seed, it has the potential to grow millions and millions of banyan trees inside one tiny seed. That is the inconceivable potency of the Supreme Lord. So in the Kurma Purana, it is said, Astulas chana noschaiva astulo noschaiva sarvataha avarnaha sarvataha prokta shamo raktanta lochanaha. The Lord is personal, although impersonal. So he's both. He's personal and impersonal. How? Why? Because the light is there. Sure, of course, it's coming from his body. So some accept that light to be the Lord, but he's a person also. He's the Supreme Lord. The light is coming from his body. So he's personal and impersonal. He's both. He's atomic, although great. He's the greatest person. He's unlimited, and yet he can enter even within the tiny atom, every atom of every universe. He can do it. That is his inconceivable potency. That is his greatness. And he's blackish and has red eyes, although he is colorless. The Lord is colorless, but he is blackish and he has red eyes. By material calculation, all this may appear contradictory, but if we understand that the Supreme Personality of Godhead has inconceivable potencies, we can accept these facts as eternally possible in him. That's all we have to understand, that the Supreme Lord has inconceivable potencies. We keep saying, oh, the Lord is omnipotent. What does it mean, omnipotent? It means he has all these potencies which we can't even imagine that he has. So he has these things, so he can do all these things. Why not? In our present condition, we cannot understand the spiritual activities and how they occur, but although they are inconceivable, in the material context, we should not disregard such contradictory conceptions. So according to our material mind, although they appear inconceivable, yet we should not disregard them. Vedic literature needs to be accepted with submission and humility, provided we are hearing from the correct authority. And then we understand that it is the potency of the Supreme Lord. It is his supreme potency. Although it is apparently inconceivable, it is quite possible for the Absolute to reconcile all opposing elements. So apparently it seems inconceivable to us by our material senses, our material mind, our material intelligence. We are not able to understand the qualities, the activities of the Supreme Lord. They all appear inconceivable to us because they are on another platform. They are on the absolute platform. They are not material. So this is established in 6th Canto, chapter 9, text 34 to 37. O my Lord, your transcendental pastimes and enjoyments all appear inconceivable because they are not limited by the causal and effective actions of material thought. So Krishna's pastimes and enjoyment. So when we do any activity, our activity is not called pastime. We are doing time pass pass the time. But Krishna, his activities are called pastimes. His activities are called Leelas. He's not forced to do them. He's not forced to do anything, but he likes to engage in loving pastimes. And they appear inconceivable. Why? Because they're not limited. For example, when Krishna engaged in the Ras Leela with the gopis in the month of autumn in Vrindavan, that one night, he elongated it to as long as one night of Brahma, which is like the Chaturyugas 1,000 times. So that's a phenomenally long duration of time, like it would be like 4,320,000,000, something like that, a huge number, a huge number. But Krishna can do that. A 12-hour night, he elongated it into millions of years. That's his inconceivable potency. You can do everything without performing bodily work. It's simply by his will. By Krishna's will, this whole cosmic manifestation is created, maintained, and then annihilated. He does not have to physically create anything. When we want to do, we physically have to do things. Or we'll say, oh, but now I have machines to do it. Well, somebody is producing the machine, Somebody's putting the intelligence behind the machine. Somebody's putting some work there. Some labor is involved. But for Krishna, there is no labor involved, simply by his will. The Vedas say that the absolute truth has multifarious potencies and does not need to do anything personally. My dear Lord, you are entirely devoid of material qualities. Without anyone's help, you can create, maintain, and dissolve the entire qualitative material manifestation. Yet in all such activities, you do not change. Krishna, he's not taking any help from any other entity to help him to create this universe. No, he's creating it by himself. He's creating it, maintaining it, and highlighting it all by himself, by his will. He does not need anyone to help him. He's self-sufficient. Krishna is self-sufficient. And yet he does not change. You do not accept the results of your activities, unlike ordinary demons and demigods who suffer or enjoy the reactions of the activities in the material world. So when we do something, we have that material desire to enjoy this thing. We do a particular activity under the mode of nature, and then we have the desire to enjoy this material thing. So then, of course, we are subjected to the laws of this material world, which is the law of karma. But Krishna, no, he has no desire to enjoy this material world. He is completely, absolutely happy in himself. He does not need anything external. And he's always enjoying in his internal spiritual energy, nothing material. So he has no karma. Karma cannot touch him. Unaffected by the reactions of work, you eternally exist with your full spiritual potency. This we cannot fully understand. So this is all inconceivable. These are the inconceivable qualities of Krishna. All the contradictions, all the inconceivable potencies get their reconciliation in Krishna. In Krishna, because he has inconceivable potencies. Because you are unlimited in your 6 opulences, no one can count your transcendental qualities. He has unlimited qualities. We might try to count our qualities, and it might take us some time, but we will be able to list out all the qualities we have. But Krishna, his qualities are unlimited, and they are transcendental, not material, not tinged by material nature, not tinged by material goodness, passion, or ignorance. Philosophers and other thoughtful persons are overwhelmed by the contradictory manifestations of the physical world and the propositions of logical arguments and judgments. Because they are bewildered by word jugglery and disturbed by the different calculations of the scriptures, their theories cannot touch you, who are the ruler and controller of everyone and whose glories are beyond conception. If we try to logically try to understand, we will not be able to. Why? Because our logic is material. We cannot approach the absolute with our uh, material mind. The absolute truth, Krishna, he is spiritual, he's transcendental. So what's going to happen is by our own mind, because the mind is material and we have defects, we are just going to confuse ourselves. We're going to get thoroughly confused and we will not be able to understand the absolute truth. In fact, we won't be able to understand the true nature of the absolute truth. So we'll stop here for today. Are there any questions or comments? If no, then we'll stop here. Thank you so much for listening in and joining in. Shri Caitanya Caritamrita ki jai, Shilpa Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Premanande, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.